Another ITV drama, a new one, six-parter, Cleaning Up. I don't know, Stephen, do you want to run us through the plot of this quickly?
Yeah.
You reviewed it for the website.
This one follows a working class mom called Sam who works as a cleaner in the stockbroker's office in Canary Wharf. And I guess the plot of the drama is really that she's conflicted over whether or not she should act on sacred stock information that she's accidentally learned while cleaning.
Because she's a gambling addict,
Yeah.
and she needs this money. I suppose that's the other thing, isn't she? She's a gambling addict and is running out of money. She owes thousands and thousands of pounds because of her problem. And her ex-husband sort of breathing down her neck, wanting full custody of the children. So this sort of insider trading would be the only way she can see to sort of pay off all these debts.
Yeah.
I'm really glad Stephen's with us this week because it gives the podcast more of a balanced view. Because as you can tell if you've read his review on the website, he really enjoyed it and I really didn't.
Can you tell us why, Stephen, you enjoyed it so much?
It really took me by surprise. I've never really had that relationship with Sheridan Smith that a lot of people seem to have. Not that I don't like her, I just haven't really seen her in a lot before. But I thought she was really great in that. I thought the character dilemma, the amount of problems that the writers put on her, which then ultimately forced her to make this criminal decision. I just thought the whole concept was very original. I get why everybody thought it was a little bit more melodramatic, and it was. I caught a bit of it again while it was on, and I can see why everybody thought that. But I don't know, I've watched a lot of long, drawn out, as we were talking about earlier, dramas where it didn't really hook you after the first episode, and because I thought the pace of this was so on the money, pun intended.
Well done.
I will come back for the next episode. I'm really excited to see where it goes. I hope it lives up to how much I enjoyed the first one. It might not. I'm not expecting a lot from it, but yeah, because the pacing really won it over for me.
I do have that relationship with Sheridan Smith that everybody talks about. She's not aware of it, but in time...
Me and you have been in her company an awful lot over
Yes.
the years, haven't you?
Yes.
I mean, my first press screening I ever went to was for Mrs. Biggs.
I nearly ended up sitting on her lap at a Jonathan Creek thing. But
Yeah, you
anyway,
interviewed, haven't you, for
Yeah.
the Jonathan Creek
but,
special
and
she was
for
in.
other stuff. Anyway, I struggled because the job of the first episode, I suppose, is to put all the key players in position for things to happen later on along the series. And the issue I had with this is I could see what they were doing and how they were positioning people, and I could see what was going on. I also didn't think that Sheridan Smith's character was that likeable, which I think is incredibly key with something like this, because you've got to worry about her, going forward. You've got to worry about the way the crime is going to affect her and her family. I thought the supporting roles for Matthew McNulty as this sort of father taking away the kids wasn't that compelling. Thought the kids were very stage school. It just left me feeling a bit cold.
I'm sort of with you on a lot of this, that I don't quite know why we are rooting for Sam, because she's got herself in this situation really with the gambling addiction. And I know it is a problem for people, but her ex-husband, the Matthew McNulty character, is painted as the villain, but he seems to me, he wants his kids because he's worried about them because they're living with mum who's got this serious problem and is sort of costing them this money and things like that. And I find it hard to have sympathy for her. I mean, the other character in this is her friend Jess. And I actually was thinking it would be more compelling. She's a more likeable character if it was turned around on her, because she's got more motivation for me on wanting this money. She's trying to start this sort of cafe business. She's got a brother who I believe is in a hospital or something like that, in a care home. And she has to live with Theo Bartlam Biggs, which is a struggle for anyone, really.
No one should have to do that.
None of it really rang true, and the focus seemed to be on the wrong people, on the characters that we just didn't want to root for. And the fact that this has to run over 6 parts, I can't see...
Especially because of how much they've already accomplished in the first episode. Like, I don't know how they're going to stretch the material out for another 5.
Yeah, it just didn't ring true for me, and I'm not going to carry on with this. Stephen, you obviously are, and Luke.
I think ultimately for me, it lacked any depth. Is probably what it was. It was about a woman doing insider trading to get more money, and that is literally what it was about. I mentioned Breaking Bad earlier. The strapline for that is a guy with cancer, becomes a drug dealer and a meth maker to support his family, but it's not about that. It's about the world and what happens and the family, and I felt like cleaning up was just very, very thinly drawn.